Well, Davy, I am so glad to have you back, but I'm gonna need time and a half for these sessions.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 cringiest Never Have I Ever moments.
Devi was way out of line.
So out of line. Like, the line was here and I was friggin' way over there.
For this list, we'll be looking at the emotional and embarrassing events in the life of Devi and her friends that they would probably rather we all just forget about. Did we miss a moment that had you feeling the secondhand shame? Tell us about it in the comments. Number 10, the coyote incident. Grief is a complicated creature. In fact, this might be directly symbolized when a wild coyote shows up in the late Mohan Vishwakumar's neglected garden.
Devi didn't consider herself a particularly spiritual person, but she couldn't deny that there was something spooky going on here. She felt as if she'd met this coyote before, as if they understood each other.
Devi doesn't see this as symbolism, of course. While still trying to avoid dealing with her grief directly, she manages to convince herself that her father has returned to her in some form.
I didn't see him metaphorically with my heart or something. My eyes saw my father's soul in the body of a coyote.
Okay, well, if you see that coyote again, I want you to talk to him. Tell him what you're feeling.
We have to hand it to Dr. Ryan for being a great therapist and trying to support Devi's healing, even if the path is unconventional. She might have underestimated how truly confident Devi was in her belief, though. As everyone at home watched through their fingers, Devi found out the hard way that a wild coyote is probably just a coyote.
I miss you so much.
You're here to cheer me up, right?
Number 9, propositioning Paxton. When Devi's father suddenly died in front of her, the shock of that trauma put her in a wheelchair for a while. Returning for the sophomore year of high school, she's determined to ignore both events and instead wipe the slate clean by obsessively focusing on her social life instead.
If you refuse to change your personalities, I guess we'll just move on to step 2 and get boyfriends. Boyfriends? I have chosen attainable yet status-enhancing people for each of us today.
Her plans change slightly when her nemesis Ben Gross reveals that she and her best friends Eleanor and Fabiola are widely considered to be undesirable nerds. Throwing caution to the wind, she approaches the hottest boy in school, her longtime crush, Paxton Hall Yoshida.
I'm a sophomore. I sit behind you in history class. I was also paralyzed last year. Oh, okay, great, you are familiar with that.
There's a fine line between gutsy and desperate, but Devi comes off as a bit of both. Either way, it's hard to watch her babble on while Paxton stares blankly.
I know you'd never be my boyfriend because you're you and I'm me, but I was wondering if you would ever consider having sex with me?
Number 8, Navratri. Holidays are always minefields for all kinds of faux pas, and Navratri and the Vishwakumars is no exception. At the celebration proper, Kamala tries to build bridges between Manish and her grandmother. It does not go well.
This Bloomy's bag represented the American dream, and you have filled it with dirty napkins.
Oh my God, I am so sorry.
Ooh, do I hear drama?
No!
Oh my god!
Oh my God, let me help you.
Meanwhile, Devi is allowed to leave and attend Trent's party, but only if she agrees to bring Raya's son Nirdesh along with her. Devi assumes she's been stuck with a hopeless geek and is prepared to tell everyone that the unwelcome addition is her cousin. Until Des walks in, that is, and instantly proves to be the total opposite of everything Devi expected.
You thought I was gonna be a huge loser based on what?
Well, because certain cultural context clues.
The more she talks, the deeper she digs herself. And as per usual, Devi's attempts to explain are guaranteed to inspire a facepalm.
I did not mean to offend you, but hey, let's be honest. There's a lot of nerdy Indian guys, and I don't know if you know this, but your name does have the word nerd in it, so.
Oh, wow. You're the first person who's ever said that to me.
Huh.
Definitely no one in elementary school did.
Number 7, Ben's social woes. As insufferable as Ben can sometimes be, it tugs at our heartstrings when we learn how lonely he is. And he definitely deserves a better girlfriend than Shira.
I totally forgot. I told Zoe I'd go with her to a brow sculpting pop-up.
Well, but you told me you go to the Clippers game like 2 months ago. Did you have to get your brow sculpted tonight?
Oh my God, did you not see my Snapchat? It'll be good for my Insta.
Watching him try to find anyone to accompany him to the Clippers game, we can't help but wince in sympathy. His attempts to cultivate friendships on the spot are a mix of painful and pitiful.
Maybe we'd all hung out before, worked up to the game.
Well, I thought maybe this would be that bridge. But yeah, never mind. Forget about it.
Unfortunately, it only gets worse when his father cancels on him too. Desperate to get out of the house, he agrees to meet up with a fellow poster from a Rick and Morty Reddit, which goes exactly how you imagine it would. Still, he tries to make the best of the situation. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, that's not normal, Ben. He doesn't want to just talk tunes. Get the hell out of there!
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go.
Oh, come on, man. It's not weird unless you make it weird.
Number 6. Davy's atomic anger. Devi didn't originally plan to lie to the whole world about the nature of her relationship with Paxton. But once Fabiola and Eleanor let her story slip to Ben, it doesn't take long for the misinformation to spread like wildfire.
The idea that a girl in Model Ewing can get with a guy like Paxton Hall Yoshida, you're an inspiration to us.
Davy's only conflicted for a split second before she leans into the clout that she gets from being known as Paxton's regular hookup. Naturally, it doesn't take long for the news to get back to Paxton himself. Rather than own her mistake, Devi blames Ben and goes, well, nuclear.
And anyone else who supports the United States can consider themselves nuked too. The US has shown they can't be trusted with sensitive information, and if left to their own devices, will ruin all our lives.
The lying and the posturing were bad. Taking her anger out on Ben was worse, but when she blows up on Fab and Eleanor, both going through their own crises, it becomes a perfect storm of terrible behavior.
Some crazy things happened and we both have something to tell you.
Now's not a good time.
But it's really important.
Trust me, whatever you guys have going on, my is bigger, okay? I have the bigger
Number 5. When mothers meet. We could feel the sense of dread building from the minute Devi decided to reunite Eleanor and her absentee mother Joyce. But we weren't necessarily prepared for Joyce to start spilling everyone's secrets in front of the other mothers.
We baked cookies, we gossiped. I got to know all about their high school love lives.
Love lives? No. They're too young for love and, frankly, to have a life.
I know, they've grown up so fast. I can't believe they have boyfriends and girlfriends already.
Poor Fabiola looks ready to climb out of her skin, but Nalini is quick to put the heat squarely on Devi, and Joyce is there to throw one more kerosene on the fire.
Nalini, calm down. She's not with Paxton anymore.
Paxton? Mr. Cheekbones from the hospital? The one I caught in your bed?
You found him in her bed? So you did know they were having sex? I'm confused.
No, what?
The Devi's having what?
Trying to head off the ensuing panic, Devi is forced to admit her lies to everyone. Though Fab and Eleanor aren't happy about being misled, they're still willing to forgive her. So when Joyce abandons Eleanor again and leaves her devastated, Devi's decision to ditch her friends for Paxton becomes 1,000 times worse.
This was her chance to make good on her promise to be a better friend. Damn, that's a hard one to ignore.
Number 4. Date with disaster. Nalini has definitely had more than her fair share of difficulties, and it was nice to see her finally enjoying herself when she began dating her office neighbor, Dr. Jackson. Nice for everyone but Devi anyway, who finds the idea unforgivable and follows Nalini on her date.
Where are we? Wait, is that your mother's car?
It is. And this house belongs to Dr. Jackson, who I suspect her of dating. But I need proof.
Taking things to the extreme, she climbs up on the roof to spy on the couple. However, once she drops her phone into Dr. Jackson's hot tub, she blows her cover and her fuse.
What am I doing? What are you doing? We throw Dad's ashes in the ocean, and then boom, you turn around and date another man?
In the aftermath, Nalini breaks things off with Dr. Jackson, but can't avoid another huge fight with Devi. It's true that this situation is a complicated one emotionally, but the accusations she throws at Nalini aren't just uncalled for, they are uncomfortably mean.
Your daughter-in-law here got a boyfriend 5 minutes after your son died. I guess that's why you didn't seem too upset about Dad's death.
Number 3. Nasty rumors. Devi is often prone to lashing out when she feels insecure, and her attitude towards Anissa is a prime example of her worst tendencies. After initially regarding the transfer student as a threat, Devi soon discovers her great personality and welcomes her as a friend, until there seem to be sparks between Anissa and Ben, that is.
Oh no! This bitch has got to go.
Devi makes it her personal mission to keep the two of them apart. In her aggravation, she speaks without thinking, inadvertently starting a rumor that Anissa suffers from an eating disorder.
Yeah, probably. I've never seen her eat a damn thing.
Unfortunately, Devi unknowingly hit on one of Anissa's real struggles, and the true reason behind her transfer. Anissa is understandably crushed. Yet again, Devi finds that her impulsive behavior has consequences for the people close to her.
I wanted to start fresh here, and everything was going so well. I don't know how they found out.
Number 2, double trouble. What's a girl to do when two attractive boys both want to date her?
Well, you definitely have to choose. I mean, what's the alternative? You just date 2 guys until you move to India?
And that was it. That was all Devi needed to hear.
Yep, with each guy running in a very different social circle, Devi figures she can get away with dating both of them without the other finding out. Seeing how sweet both Paxton and Ben are with Devi makes this behavior feel especially unkind, and it only takes one unsupervised party for the whole house of cards to come tumbling down.
Just thought you should know that we're dating the same person.
I don't think so, man.
I can explain. But the explanation might sound a lot like what Ben said.
Devi's attempts to make light of the situation only make her look worse, and no amount of poor justification can offset how hurt both Ben and Paxton obviously are.
I just like you both so much. And if I were a guy, you'd be high-fiving me right now?
And if that weren't enough, poor Paxton ends up with an actual injury on top of his emotional insult.
Don't worry, he's not dead.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions. A flowery faux pas. Sometimes mistakes hurt, sometimes they burn.
Welcome to your pleasure. Just don't make up.
Jesus Christ!
Cultural crossed wires. A disapproval so intense it causes a health event, we can't help but feel for Manish.
Yeah, feel free to say whatever you want. I don't speak any Indian languages.
Tati? Oh my god. Oh my god.
Asking Dr. Ryan for intimate assistance. Devi seems to misunderstand the sort of help a therapist provides.
Do you mind going to the store and buying me a thong?
What?
My mom won't buy them for me. Just like a simple red lace thong with a rhinestone phrase on the front that says "do me."
I will not be buying you a tacky-ass thong.
Couples manipulation. It's played as cute, but this is left gift of the magi and more potential red flag.
Wait, so we deceived each other to get what we wanted? Oh my god, we're like a real celebrity couple.
Ben trying to kiss Devi twice. What we have here is a failure to read the room.
Ben, what the hell? Don't you have a girlfriend?
Yeah, I'm an idiot.
Okay. No, it's weird.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You'll have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Damage control. Devi might genuinely feel bad about hurting Anissa, but true to form, her primary concern quickly becomes getting herself out of hot water. After trying to steer the investigation towards other students, her conscience starts to get the better of her.
I'm the one who told Shira and Zoe, but I didn't even know it was true. I was just mad that you hooked up with Ben, and I used to date him, so I freaked out, and I'm really, really, really sorry, Anissa.
To Devi's surprise, Anissa goes straight to the principal, and Devi ends up with a well-deserved suspension. In her most stunningly self-centered move to date, she then has the nerve to ask Anissa to plead her case to the principal.
Wow, that's what you care about? I thought the girls at my last school were selfish. You're on another level.
Yet, somehow she tops herself. When Ben reveals that Anissa is planning to transfer again, Devi plans an over-the-top apology, not for Anissa's sake, but to score points with her crush.
Devi, we don't apologize to get something in return.
For sure, for sure. I am obviously apologizing because I feel horrible about what I did to Anissa, and I want her to be my friend again. But if I also got Ben.
It's just an avalanche of cringe on this one.
Thanks for the apology, Devi. You've now just ensured that my final week here is about how much of a freak I am. Great work.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.